Good morning, great and glorious human beings. I'm so glad that you've made it to school today, and I am so glad that you joined me in our lesson today, in our rounding review lesson. Okay, so let's think back. A couple weeks ago, we talked about rounding in Miss Tripp's class or Miss Stewart's class in our math class. Everybody remember that? Thumbs up if you do, right here. Good job. Okay, so we remember rounding. Perfect. So we rounded to the nearest 10 with a 2-digit number, and we rounded to the nearest 10 with a 3-digit number. And we rounded to the nearest 100 with a 3-digit number. Good job. All right, so our standard, let me read our standard. We are going to use place value understanding to round whole numbers to the nearest 10 or 100. Now you're going, Mr. Sapp, what does that mean? Well, I have some I can statements that are going to help us out. So everybody stand up. And I like to do what's called a I can statement chant, okay? And so it says, I can. Okay, so let's try it. We're going to say I can, and then we're going to read it together. I can round 2-digit numbers to the nearest 10. I can round 3-digit numbers to the nearest 10. I can round 3-digit numbers to the nearest 100. Okay, those are I can statements. Do you understand what we're going to do today? We're going to round 2-digit numbers to the nearest 10 and 3-digit numbers to the nearest 10. And we're going to round 3-digit numbers to the nearest 100. All right, you can have a seat. All right, thank you. All right, so we're going to look at our, what's this called? What's it called? The tip chart. Good job. So we're going to look at our tip chart. What does tip chart mean?
Term, information, and picture.
Term, information, and picture. Okay, so we have our term. What's this term?
Digit.
Digit. And a digit means what, Shemaiah?
A single number, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, so that's our picture. We just showed that as how to understand what a digit was. Place value. All right, Matt, can you read that right there for me?
The
Value.
The value of each digit is in a number.
Okay, so we're going to look at our picture. I know it's kind of hard to see, but what's this 9 in? What place is it in? The ones. Good job. What about this 6? What the tens? And what about the hundreds?
100.
Or okay, so the 3's and the 100. So what's this number?
369.
369. Good job, Shemai. All right, so our benchmark number. Will you read that for me, Nolan? Right here.
The 2 tens or 100 that your current number falls between on a number line.
All right, so let's look at this. Our benchmarks in this little box I have right here. What are they?
40, 50.
40 and 50 because we're rounding to the nearest 10. So if I was rounding and I had this 5 right here, do I go up or do I go down? Up. Okay, so what would my nearest 10 be?
50.
50. Good job. All right, everybody stand up. So we have our rounding anchor chart. Now our rounding anchor chart, it has a chant to go with it. And you know I love chants. So it says, and we got some hand signals to do with it. We have 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest. Okay? So let's try it together. 5 or more, let it, oh, excuse me, I messed up. Let's try it again. 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest. Okay? Everybody got it?
Yes.
All right, good. All right, so rounding to the nearest 10. Okay, so we're going to look at what place? Keelan. Keelan. What place do we look at? The what place? The ones place, okay? And we look at it and we say if it's 5 or more, we let it soar, or if it's 4 or less, we let it rest. Is this 5 or more?
No.
Is it 4 or less?
Yeah.
So we're going to let it rest. So what does it round to? 20. Okay? And now we're rounding to the nearest 100. So we look at the what's place? Tens. Good job. So in our tens place, what number? 6. Is it 5 or more?
Yeah.
So are we letting it soar?
Yeah.
So what will we round it to? 300, because 200 and there are our, what's that B word? Benchmark. Y'all are on fire today. All right. So now we're going to be rounding 2-digit numbers to the nearest 10. make sure your name is written on your work organizer before we get started. And then I want you to check your partners and then turn around and look at me and give me a thumbs up. You're going to just give me a thumbs up right here. Thumbs up right here. All right, good job. Look at another neighbor and make sure they have theirs. Give me a thumbs up if they do. Fantastic. Okay, that was just make sure everybody had it. We're going to start by rounding 2-digit numbers to the nearest 10. All right, let's look at our number 12. Excuse me. Look at our number 12. First, we need to decide what our benchmark is. Somebody tell me what our benchmark is. The first one, Shemaya? 10. Write that down. Make sure you have that written down. Okay. What goes in our second benchmark? Keelan. 20. Good job, Keelan. All right. So if you also think 20, give me a thumbs up. Right here. Good job. All right, it is correct, 20. Now we're rounding to the nearest 10, so what place do we look at?
The one.
What place do we look at?
The ones.
We look at the ones place. Does the ones place tells us to soar or rest?
Red.
Rest. So on your paper, on your work organizer, circle what benchmark that we're rounding to. What's the nearest 10? Make sure we put the second benchmark. All right. When you have it, give me a thumbs up. And I'm just going to give you my agree symbol, okay? Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay, so Shemaya, come up to the board. Let's start with Shemaya. All right, Shemaya, what is our first benchmark for this? Right here. 60. Okay, so write 60 in our first blank. Right there. Do you agree? Give me our symbol. Do you agree? Savannah, do you agree? Okay. All right. So Matt, can you tell us what goes in our second benchmark? Goes right there. 70. Good job. So write that for me, Shemaya. All right. Fantastic. Now, Nolan, we are going to tell Shemaya what the nearest 10 is. So think about it. When you have it, give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Here we go. Nolan, tell me what the nearest 10 is. 60 or 70? 70. Okay. Will you circle that for us? And then you can have a seat. Thank you, Shemaya. Oh, thank you. All right. So you said 70, Nolan. Why did you say 70?
Because there's a 6 in the ones place.
A 6 in the ones place. So what did it tell you to do?
Round up.
It told you to round up. It told you to soar. Good job. All right, so 31. Go ahead and write the first and second benchmarks to those. Now I'm going to come around and when you get that, give me a thumbs up so I know you're ready. Write the first and second benchmark. All right, give me a thumbs up so I know you're ready because we're rounding to the nearest 10. Okay, thank you, Shemaya. Good job. I agree. I agree. I agree, Keelan. I agree. I agree. Okay, now circle that. But first, before we circle it, I need to write on my sheet what is our benchmarks. Shemaya.
It's going to be 30 and 40.
30 and 40. Okay. All right, and so now what do we got to do? We got to round to the nearest 10, right? Okay. So Keelan, tell me which one we round to. What's our nearest 10? 30. All right. Keelan, how did you get that answer? How do you know that it's 30?
Because you need to round down.
You need to round down. What place value did you look at? The ones place. You look at the ones place and it says, oh, it's 4 less. We got to round down. Okay, so everybody have that? Give me a agree symbol if you agree. Good job. All right, let's go to the next one. 20. Write your 2 benchmark numbers. And then go ahead and circle what the nearest 10 that it rounds to. Let's circle the 10s it goes to. Alright, this was a tricky one, okay? So let's look at it. So is in the ones place, what number is that?
It's gonna be 30.
Oh, what in the ones place? What number is in the ones place?
Oh, 0.
0. Is 0 a digit?
Yes.
Yes, 0 is a digit. Is 0 less than 4? Is 0 less than 4?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we know that we're going to have to round
Damn.
down. So, and I noticed on some people's papers that you wrote on your benchmarks as is this right?
Yeah.
This is right.
No.
Why not?
Because the 20 is already in the middle.
The 20 is already in the middle. So we can't have the 20 as a benchmark. So we're having to round it. What's the next benchmark?
30.
Oh, no.
No.
We got 30. We have second. You're right on that. But what's our first one? If it's not 20, it's got to be 10. Okay, so let's change our answers. Because that's okay. Because we learn
From our mistakes.
from our mistakes. All right, so now if I'm rounding, if I got to round down, okay, so what's going to be our benchmark? What's going to be our benchmark? What we have, it's going to be what?
10.
10. So are we rounding up or down?
No.
Down. So what is our rounding to the nearest 10? 10. All right, good job. Now we're going to do a quick check. So I'm going to give you a marker, and you're going to write down exactly the number on the board. Did I give you one? Oh, I'm so sorry. You're going to write that down on the board, and you're going to write the benchmarks, and you're going to circle what it rounds to, okay? And go. Oh. Oh, excuse me, forgot to erase.
Can we have a
Eraser. Just write on the board and I'll get you an eraser, okay? Excuse me, damn. Nope. Alright, here's our quick check. So write those 2 blanks down, write the number, write that number, and then write the benchmarks. Already had some paper towels ready. Alright, I'm going to give you 30 more seconds. Alright, make sure you're circling what number we're rounding to. If we're letting it soar or we're letting it rest. Oh, I see Mac's symbol to let me know we're ready. Alright, markers down. Go ahead and show me those boards, please. Let's see. Oh, circle it real quick, okay? Alright, thank you. Put them down. Alright, let's go over this real quick and then we're going to move on, okay? So 73. Are we rounding up or are we rounding down?
down.
Down. Shermai, you said rounding down. How do we know that?
Because the 3, the 3 is the list. Then the 7, and we're gonna go down.
We're going to go down. So it's in the ones place and the 3 says round down. So we're going to let it rest. So what's our first benchmark?
We're gonna go to 70.
70 and our second benchmark?
80.
Oh, is that right?
No.
Good job. It was right. You just have to think about it. So our first benchmark is 70 and our first benchmark is 80. And what do we round to?
The nearest 10.
The nearest 10. So and it would be 70. Good job. Okay, take your paper towels and erase them. And then you could just put those benchmarks under your work organizer, because now we're going to start rounding to the nearest 10 with 3-digit numbers. Okay?
We're not gonna do more tens.
No, we're rounding to the nearest 10 with 3-digit numbers.
This is fun.
This is easy? Great. I'm so excited. All right, here we go, real quick. All right, back to your work organizers we go. All right, so we're rounding to 3-digit numbers to the nearest 10. All right, so this says we're rounding to the nearest 10, and we have 3-digit numbers. What number is on this right here? What number is this, Savannah?
246.
246. Okay, so this tells us that we are going to use the what place?
10.
The tens place. Okay, we're looking at the tens place. Then it tells us that tells us what's going to be right here. Okay? See how it has 2 and 4 right here? Because this will not change, except we're just going to add the 0. And then right here, this is going to tell us in the ones place if we're going to round up or down. If we're going to soar or rest. All right, so real quick, let's figure out our other benchmark number. So right here, we have 246. They already gave us our first benchmark of 240. What's our second benchmark? Shemaya?
250.
250. Good job. Okay. All right, Keelan, will you tell me which one we round to? Remember, we're looking at the ones place. We round to 250. If you agree with Nolan or Keelan, give me a agree symbol. Good job, thank you. So go ahead and write that down on your work organizer. When you have it written down, give me a thumbs up real quick. Oh, thumbs up if you've got it. All right, good job. All right, so we're going to erase that. We'll move to the next one. All right, round 310 to the nearest 10. So what I want you to do on your work organizer, I just want you to write down the first benchmark. Write down the first benchmark number. Remember, we're running to the nearest 10. Good job. Thank you, Nolan. I turned the air conditioning up for you, Mom. Well, remember where we got we're looking at 3-digit numbers. Oh, remember, is that a 3-digit number? Oh, I see your number now. Give me thumbs up if you're ready. Good job. All right, so, no, I hadn't heard from No, I hadn't heard from you. Tell us what's our first benchmark number.
310.
310. Give me the symbol if you agree. If you agree with Nolan, 310. Good job. All right. So what is our other benchmark number? Oh, I was gonna call. You gotta raise your hand, remember? 300 and what? Savannah? 320. Agree symbol if you agree. If you agree, give me the agree symbol. Alright, so now, remember we look at the ones place to tell us if we round, if we soar, or if we rest. What does this ones place tell us? That we rest. Savannah, good job. So where are we gonna round to? The tens place, okay? So we're rounding to the tens. So what are we rounding to? 310 or 320? 310. Good job. Does everybody have that? Give me a thumbs up if you have that. Oh, y'all are excellent. You are superstars in rounding. All right, good job. All right, here we go. Last one before our quick check. Y'all got this one down pat. $752. Now look, it didn't even give you the things. It just gave you the line. So what's in this benchmark and what's in this benchmark? Write it down and circle. And then I'm going to have Mac go to the board. And what? So Mac is, oh, excuse me, Nolan, I didn't mean to do that. As soon as you get done, Nolan, Mac, go to the board. And you can take this and you can go ahead and write our benchmark numbers. But don't circle it. if you've got it and you want me to check it, Matt, give me a thumbs up and I'll come down and check it. Alright, good job. I agree. I agree. I agree. You got that one? Look. Oh, look. We're running to the nearest tens. So you gotta change that. To what? Good job. Alright, so that's gonna be not 4. Great. Alright, so we have Alright, Matt, go ahead and write our benchmark numbers on the board. Thank you patiently for waiting. Give yourself 3 snaps. Patiently waiting. Good job. Alright, so write our benchmarks. Oh, do you need your work organizer to see? Here you go. So you wrote this. That's your first benchmark. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even put it on pen. My bad. Go ahead. Oh, check your numbers again. Look on your organizer. You have that here. Let's hit the eraser. You've got it right on your organizer. Just make sure you look at it. Hold on. Look on your organizer. Look right here. You've got it written. What's that? That's a. Yes. All right. Look at it again. Oh, okay. There you go. All right. All right. Give them the grease and review. Agree? Me too. All right. Do our last one. Our last benchmark. All right, do you agree? Show me if you agree. Perfect, good job, and I see it on your work organizer. All right, Matt, circle what we're rounding to. And remember, we're looking in the 2's place, or the 1's place, and that 2 tells us to round either sore or rest. All right. If you agree, or if you say, all right. That means we need some help, and that's okay. All right, so look, let's think about it. Let's think. Give me your thinking face. Okay, so now we thought about it. And look, remember, let's say, is this more or less than 5? Is this 5 or more? No. So are we soaring? No. So let's erase that. Because soar means what, Mac? It means to round. If we're soaring, we're rounding which way? Up. Okay, so if we're resting, we're rounding down. Okay, so go circle which one we're rounding to. Do y'all agree?
Yes.
Good job. Thank you, Matt, so much. Thank you. You can go back for a seat. All right, well, for a quick check, here we go. 1 minute. Have it ready. Open your markers. And, well, you know, you got to erase it before we go. Sometimes the smart board doesn't like to cooperate. All right, 248, rounding to the nearest 10. I'm watching. You've got that. Now make sure you write your benchmarks numbers, and you can circle your benchmark numbers. Remember, we're rounding to the nearest 10. To the nearest 10. Oh, Shemaya, I agree. I love what you're doing. You've underlined what number you're looking at. And make sure you look, is it's more than 5. All right, 15 seconds. All right, circle the 1 real quick. And show me your whiteboard. Fantastic. Everybody give you 3 shots. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Good job. All right, let's move on. And real quick, now we're going to do rounding to the nearest, what did I say? 100. And with a what number? A three-digit number. All right, here we go. So we're going to round these 3-digit numbers to the nearest 100s. All right, go back to your work organizers. And on the last row down there, you have 289. Go ahead and write the first and the last benchmark. Go ahead and write the first and the last benchmark. And that middle line right there, you can, if you want to, you can write 289.
What middle line?
This line right here. You can write 3 lines. See, I already put it on your paper for you so you didn't have to worry about it. Alright. So write your first benchmark. You got that? I see everybody's got that. Write your second benchmark. Remember, rounding to the nearest 100. And remember, let's think back to our anchor chart. Our anchor chart said when we're rounding to the nearest 100, we're looking at our what place? Oh, we're looking at our what place?
The 10.
The tens place. Great job, Shemaya. Oh, I like what I'm seeing. All right, so remember we're rounding to hundreds. Okay, so say something hundred. Oh, good job. You got it? Good job, Noah. Good job, Savannah. Good job, Shemaya. And circle. All right, Savannah, you haven't been to the board yet, have you? Why don't you go ahead and write our 2 benchmark numbers? Here's a marker. $200. If you agree. All right, good job. Go ahead. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
I agree as well. All right, hold on, Shemaya. Listen, let's not do the clapping yet. Circle what we're round to. What's our nearest 100? All right, 2 snaps if you agree. Oh, good job. Thank you, Savannah. All right, ready on our next one?
Mm-hmm.
Written down our work organizer. Give me a thumbs up. Good job. 725. We're rounding to the nearest 100. 725 around to the nearest 100. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to help you out here. I'm going to go ahead and write down the first benchmark. Can somebody tell me what that first benchmark is before I write it down? What's our first benchmark? Oh, sorry, you raised your hands. Keelan? 700. Do you agree with Keelan?
Yes.
Yes, so do I. All right, and our last benchmark, what is it? Savannah? 800. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes. All right. And what are we rounding to? We're rounding to the nearest
100.
100. So we're thinking, what place are we looking in?
The 1.
Oh.
The 10.
The tens place. Okay. So we're looking at the tens. Does it tell us to soar or rest?
Rest.
Rest. Is she correct?
Yes.
Yes, she is. Good job, Shania. Make sure we raise our hand though. Okay. So do you have what I have on my board? If you agree, give me a agree symbol. All right, last one, 448. Let's see. Who am I going to call on now? Let's see. Keelan, have you been to the board yet? All right, come on, Keelan, let's come to the board. Keelan is going to go ahead and write our benchmark numbers. He's going to write our benchmark numbers, and you're going to write them on your paper as well. Give everybody just a moment Does everybody agree? Nolan, do you agree? Good job. Mac, do you agree? I do too. Alright, so thank you, Keelan. Thank you. Nolan, come step up here. Oh, you good? Alright, Nolan. So now, circle the nearest 100. You can do it with your finger if you want to. Nolan, how did you know that that was going to be it? What place did you look at? What place is that?
10.
The 10. So Nolan looked at the 10s and he said, what is it, 4 or less? So you let it rest? Is that what you did? All right, good job, Nolan. Thank you and have a seat. All right, here goes. When you have that on your board, give me a thumbs up so I know. All right, so guess what time it is? Whiteboard quick check. Get out your whiteboard marker. Last one. Excuse me. Round to the nearest 100. All right, write it on the board, or write it on your board. And we're rounding to the nearest 100. I'm gonna give you a minute. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Let's look at it. Oh, let's write your 6 a little better, okay? Because sometimes you can get confused with write that 6 better, a little bit better. You can get confused sometimes with your. Good job. Okay. All right, and everybody's ready. So show me your whiteboards. All right, so I see some people rounding to the nearest 700 and 2 people rounding to the nearest 600. All right, so put your boards down and you can erase them. And let's look at that real quick, okay? So it says round to the nearest 100. And I saw a lot of people doing this. Okay, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Good job, Savannah. But I saw some people doing this. Is this right?
No.
No. So, Shemai, you said that it wasn't right, and you got it right on your board. Tell me why this isn't right.
Because you didn't look at the tens.
I didn't look at the tens place. And what does this tens place say? Does it tell me to soar or rest?
Tells you to rest.
I rest. So, does this show that I rested, or does it show that I soared?
It showed that you soared.
I soared. So, what do I need to do? I need to
Round to the
600 because that means I
go down.
go down. And it's 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, let it soar. Okay? Now, you can erase your boards. Thank you so much for doing those whiteboard quick checks. And if you want to, you can actually put your whiteboards on the floor. Your markers, you can just leave them on the table. And then you can pick up your Chromebooks. And we're going to do an activity. So you're going to go to Google Classroom. You're going to go to Google Classroom. And on there are some